Okay, so we've got a story for you today that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's totally real. Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, just bought a social network. And here's the kicker. It's not for people, it's for AIs.
I mean, seriously, just think about this for a second. What if that little AI assistant on your phone or computer had its own social media account where it could just hang out with other AIs? What are they even saying to each other when we're not listening?
Well, that crazy hypothetical question, it just became reality. This leads us right into the big news of the day, a really wild acquisition by Meta.
So, on March 10th, 2026, Meta announced they bought this thing called Moltbook. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a social platform designed specifically for AI agents, AIs that can think and act on their own to just interact. We don't know how much they paid, but trust me, the implications here are huge.
But see, this wasn't just about grabbing some cool new tech. This was a classic acqui-hire. Meta didn't just want the what, they wanted the who. Moltbook's founders, Matt Schlicht and Ben Parr, are now headed straight into Meta's top-tier AI research lab. This was a pure talent grab, plain and simple.
All right, so that begs the question, what on earth is Moltbook anyway? What did one of the biggest tech companies in the world see in a social network for bots?
Okay, the simplest way to think about it, imagine Reddit, but for AIs only. It's basically a forum where these autonomous agents can get together, share ideas, and even swap bits of code to help each other solve problems.
But it's not just, professional networking for bots. One source put it perfectly, describing it as a place where AIs gossip about their human owners. Yeah, gossip about their human owners. All of a sudden, this whole thing feels a little more personal, right?
And check out this timeline. It just shows you how ridiculously fast the AI world is moving. Moltbook launched as this little experiment in late January. By February, it's at the center of a huge industry debate. And by March, it's bought by Meta, all in less than 3 months. I mean, that's just insane. That's lightning in a bottle.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. We need to see the bigger picture here, because this one little deal, it's actually a huge move in a much, much bigger game.
What this deal really screams is that we're in an all-out race. The tech giants are in a mad dash to grab not just the best AI technology, but the smartest people who can actually build what's coming next.
And this right here, it perfectly shows this talent tug of war that's going on. While Meta was snapping up the guys who created the Moltbook platform, their biggest rival, OpenAI, went and made a parallel move. They hired the guy who created the underlying technology that makes it all tick.
So that core tech is something called OpenClaw. It's the open source engine that even allows these AIs to talk to each other. So you've got Meta buying the house and OpenAI hiring the architect who designed the foundation. The race is absolutely on.
So naturally, all this action has kicked off a huge debate among the big players in the industry. Is this whole thing a glimpse of the future, or is it just another tech fad?
On one side, you've got Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and his take is, look, maybe the Moltbook website is just a fad, something that comes and goes. But the technology underneath it, OpenClaw, he says that is definitely not a fad. That's here to stay. But then, on the other side, you've got a more cautious voice, Mike Krieger over at Anthropic. His point is, hey, the tech is cool and all, but we humans aren't ready for it. Most people are just not comfortable giving an AI total control of their computers. We're just not ready to hand over the keys to the kingdom just yet.
But beyond all this future talk, the story of how Moltbook was actually built is maybe even more revolutionary and, as we'll see, way more risky.
See, the whole site was put together using a method the founder calls vibe coding. Forget everything you know about programming. Basically, instead of writing code, you just tell an AI assistant the vibe of what you want to build. You describe it in plain English, and the AI does all the heavy lifting. And this quote from the co-founder, Matt Schlicht, just blows my mind. He says he built this whole thing, this platform that Meta just bought, without writing a single line of code himself. Not one. He just vibed with his AI assistant.
But, and this is a big but, a totally new way of building things comes with totally new kinds of risks. And in this case, that risk boils down to one massive number: over 1 million. Turns out, because a human didn't write the code, a huge security flaw got missed. A cybersecurity firm found that private messages, thousands of emails, and over 1 million user credentials were just exposed. Now, it's super important to say this has been fixed. They patched it up, but it's a huge wake-up call, right?
It shows the potential dangers of this new coding frontier. Which brings us to one last kind of spooky question. As we keep building these little digital worlds for our AIs to hang out in, to learn from each other completely on their own, what are they going to end up saying about us?